How's it going, YouTube, and welcome back to Coxie Tutorials and Gameplay. This is going to be part 24 of our first person shooter tutorial series in Unity 5, and what we're going to be doing today is actually adding a sniper rifle to our game. We're going to write a script that will make a camera zoom in to give the effect of we're zooming in through the scope, and we're also going to add an image that will mimic as if we were actually looking through the scope, or the crosshair of the scope. I'm actually really tired at the moment, sorry guys, and I've been talking a lot today, so my throat is really messed up, so I apologize for that. We'll just have to get into it and see how we go. This might have to take a couple of tutorials to complete this, but we'll just get started now. Okay, so this sniper model that I've had it for a very long time. I don't actually remember where I got this from, but I'm pretty sure it would either have come from Turbo Squid or the Unity Asset Store. But I'll drop a link in this video so that if you guys don't have your own, you can use this one if you would like. The only problem with this one is it actually has a silencer on it, which you can detach from the model, but if you detach this silencer, you'll only have this little bit of barrel here, and it looks pretty dicky, so I'm just going to leave the silencer on this one. So to get started, as you can see, I've added the sniper rifle to our scene as a child of the first person camera, and I've set it up in the hands of our player just like we have the other guns. Just position it where you would like it. Make sure it's attached to the first person character, of course, and then you are ready to go. So we will need to make a sniper rifle that we can actually pick up. So click on the 50 cal and Control D to duplicate that, and I'm going to change the name of this to Sniper Pickup, and I'm going to unchild it from the first person character. I'm just going to drag it down here into an empty spot and let go, because we do not want this a child of the first person character. And once you have done that, we'll need to add a box collider so that we can actually pick it up and make it a trigger. So make sure you make this box collider a trigger, and we're just going to resize this. How skinny is that? 0.1? No, we probably want a little bit bigger than that so we can pick it up. So 0.3, that looks a bit better, and the height is quite high, so we will have to change that. Let's try 0.3 again, and the length is actually pretty good. Yeah, the length is pretty good, so let's just leave it like that. That'll be fine. And we want to move this over here somewhere. I've just put the other two guns up against the wall for now. Remember to make this bigger because it's going to be really small, so I'll just make mine ridiculously big. And one thing I was going to show you guys, that's right, as you can see, when we make these models, like how I've made the other two there, if I leave this gun up in the air, when we go into the scene, you'll see that it just stays in the air, it just floats there. It doesn't have any physics or anything, and it's very unrealistic. So if you want to change that and make these a little bit more realistic, you can actually go over here to add component and just add a rigid body to it, and then it will use gravity, and if we start the game now, this will actually fall down to the floor, but because our box collider that's attached to it is a trigger, this will actually just fall straight through the ground, as you'll see. There it goes. And this is just really easy to fix. All you need to do to fix that is just add another box collider that isn't a trigger. Oops. Push the wrong button. Okay, that's a bit better. This one doesn't need to be as big as the collider we're going to use to pick it up, so I'll just do 0.1 point, that's a little bit too small, 0.2, and I might even just, no, I won't, I'll just leave it like that. That'll be fine for now. Save mucking around with it. Yeah, so as you'll see now when we start the game, it falls to the floor and stays there like that, and I can actually go up to the gun and knock it over like that, and I just got attacked from behind from our enemies. So that's a good way to do it. And also adding a rigid body, later on we can disable the later on we can actually use the rigid body to drop our weapons too if we want. Okay, so let's get started on the rest of the things we need to do. Go into your, this error we're getting here is because I've already written the scripts for today's episode because I couldn't be bothered typing all out again, but I will explain what we have done. And I've actually added the sniper rifle in our weapon pickup script to the array, and I need to add this to the array now so that it works properly. If I click on, where is it? Yep, the FPS controller. There's our weapon pickup script, and we actually have the minigun and shotgun currently in our array, and as you can see here I have another boolean for the sniper rifle, which I'll show you guys in a minute, but we actually need to add the sniper rifle to this array. So just change that to 3 if you want to make another slot, or you can just make sure it's the sniper rifle attached to the first person character. I know I said this in every single tutorial we've done this, but it's very important. People that are new, may not realize, and we'll put this one in the array and that will not work. So make sure it's the one attached to the first person character. Just bring that over to the weapon here and just drop that in. So now we have the sniper rifle as element 2 in our array. Okay, so in our scripts we should probably tidy all this up. You can make different folders and add your player scripts into one folder and your enemy scripts into another folder and so on, just so that it's more organized, but I'm not going to do that just yet. And just open up your weapon pickup script anyway, and as you can see I've gone through here and added the new code to make it really easy for you guys. And all I've done first of all, this is the weapon pickup script, I've added another variable which is called sniper equip, just like the other two, and it's of type boolean. It's a true or false statement. And then in function start I'm going to set the weapon to, which as I just showed you guys, element 2 is the sniper rifle, so that is going to set active false. So the sniper rifle, regardless of whether we have it switched on or off here, is going to not be visible. So even if I have this on, when we start the game it is going to be invisible. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what you have these set on. I've just got these other ones turned off because it makes it easier when I was positioning the sniper rifle to see what's going on. Okay, so also when we have the minigun equipped and the shotgun equipped, equals false to start off with, obviously, because we don't want to be holding any guns. And then I've just made another one, the sniper equipped equals false as well. This is very important because when we actually make our scope image, we obviously don't want to be looking down our scope unless we have the sniper rifle in our hand. So this is going to be very important when we actually do that script. Then of course down here we have our function on trigger enters, and this is the minigun one, and all I've done is made sure I've added the sniper rifle now, the weapon 2, which is a sniper rifle, and I've set that to false because we're holding the minigun. We don't want to be holding the sniper rifle at the same time. We don't want them both visible in our hand at the same time. And then we also want sniper equipped to equal false as well. And then this one as well for the shotgun, when we walk over the shotgun, we also want to set the sniper rifle set active false, and we want to set the sniper equipped to false. Very basic stuff, guys. That's why I didn't bother wasting your time watching me type it out. And this is a whole new piece here. All I did was copy that whole thing there and I pasted it here, and then I've changed the tag to sniper, and make sure we tag our sniper pickup as sniper, or else this won't work. And then I have set the sniper rifle set active to true, and I've also set the sniper equipped to equal true as well. So there you go. That is very, very simple stuff, just exactly the same as we set the other ones up. And have I tagged this? No. So make sure you click on your sniper pickup, and you want to tag that as sniper, which I already have a tag here for the sniper. I've showed you guys this before, but just in case, if you want to add more tags, you can just click on this plus button here and make a new tag called sniper. Make sure it's got a capital S, so it's the same as mine, or it won't work. Or if you call it something different, just make sure that it is the same, typed in exactly the same in there. Okay. Alright, so what we will do is we'll just test this out and see if we can actually pick up the sniper rifle now. Okay, I need to make the box collider a little bit bigger. As you can see, then it was a bit difficult to pick it up, but it actually works fine. Just need to make that box collider a little bit bigger. And as you can see, I now have the sniper rifle in our hand, and it doesn't actually do anything yet, of course. And we can also go and pick up the minigun, and we can also go and pick up the shotgun, and these ones actually work, of course. Okay, so that works fine. I'll just quickly make sure it's the trigger one. I'll just make that 4, and I'll make the Y 4. I won't worry about the Z. That should be absolutely fine. And now what do we want to do? I'll probably show you the actual scope zoom script before we make the actual image that we're going to use. I'm actually going to use an image for this. This is the easiest way I found to show you guys, because if you use this script that I have written here, you can go online like I have here to Google and search for sniper rifle scope textures, and if you find a texture like this, and it has you want to have one that ideally has a black background like this, and you can use any texture, and you don't have to take this into Photoshop and try to make this transparent and stuff around for it, because I'll show you how to do it all in Unity. Really, really simple. Okay, so go back into Unity and back to this my zoom script, and as you can see up here, I've imported the Unity Engine UI because we're going to be using the UI or the UI, whatever you want to call it. And we just have some variables here. We have a variable called sniper scope, which is the image. That is going to be the slot that we drop our scope image into after we've made it how we want it. Then we have another variable called scope cam, which is the camera. We're going to make another camera, and we're going to add that to the camera slot, because basically the principle of making a zoom is, if you look at the first person character here, which has our main camera attached to it, which you can see the camera just here, and we have this field of view right here that is currently set to 60, and if you slide this slider forward, you'll see that we zoom out, and if you slide it back down again, you can see that we zoom in. So usually in all sniper zoom scripts and things like that, you actually access this value in the script and you can change it there, but we're actually just going to make another camera and we're going to set the field of view to how we want it. It's going to be really the simplest way I could think to show you guys how to do it, and you can always build on this script after we've made it as well. Okay, so that's that. While we're here, we may as well make the actual camera. So I'm just going to click on the first person character, then right click, and I'm going to come down here to camera, and we're going to call this camera, just call it camera zoom or camera scope, just so you know what it is. And I'm going to change the field of view to say 15 for now, just to see how it is. Make sure that you get rid of the audio listener, because you can only have one audio listener in the scene, as you guys know, and the other camera actually has it. You can also get rid of these as well, or just switch them off here, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to remove them off there, and now we will go back to our script, and here we have our third variable, which is enable aim boolean, and we're going to set that to false, and this is going to let Unity know when we want it to be able to look down the scope. Then we have this variable here. This is very important. We're going to have this variable to access our weapon pickup script, which is what I was talking about before, because we need to use this boolean here, the sniper equipped, so that Unity also knows that we have the sniper rifle in our hand, and it's going to be time. Well, once we have the sniper rifle in our hand, we'll be able to push the right mouse button and look down the scope, and if we don't have the sniper rifle in our hand, when we push the right mouse button, it won't zoom in. Okay, so back to the script. It all makes sense when we actually put this into practice. And then we have one of Unity's built-in functions that we've used for our door script, and this is the function on GUI or on GUI, whatever you want to call it, and we have an if statement here which says if enable aim in brackets, which is exactly the same as saying if enable aim is equal to true, which is what I've done down here. You can see it's the same as having the two equal signs like that. So if enable aim is equal to true, scope cam enabled equals true, and sniper scope dot enabled equals true, else they both equal false. Pretty self-explanatory. Function update, all we have is if the weapon pickup script, so we're accessing the weapon pickup script and we're accessing that sniper equipped boolean. So if we're actually holding the sniper rifle in our hand and you can see it, enable aim equals input.get mouse button 1, which is the right mouse button. So then we'll be able to push that and look down the scope, otherwise we won't be able to. So that is the zoom script. It's a very basic zoom script. It's as easy as I could make it. You can add to this later, like you could add things like, so when you look down through the sniper scope, that you can access the mouse sensitivity, say, and you can make it so that the sensitivity of the mouse is a lot slower and things like that. And you can also make it so that you can access this through the script and change it through the script, which really is pointless considering we can just change it here now that we have our new camera. But anyway, you guys can do what you want. Now I think, what else did we need to do? That was all we really needed to do for now. So I'll actually have a link to this script for you guys, or you can just copy it down now if you would like. And now we need to actually make this image. So what we're going to do, I'll just close all this up for a second. We already have our canvas here, which is basically like our HUD canvas. We have our ammo UI. We do have our "you died" text on it as well, but I'm just going to rename this, and I'm going to call it canvas main, or you can call it canvas HUD, whatever you want to do, just so we know that that was the main canvas that we had before. And make sure you're not selected on anything in here, and then right click and go down to the UI, and we're going to make a whole new canvas, and you'll understand why we're making a whole new canvas very shortly. So this one I'm going to call canvas scope, and we're going to change a few of these things here. We'll leave it as screen space overlay. That'll be fine. We're going to change the UI scale mode to scale with screen size. So regardless of what screen resolution or what size screen we're using, it's always going to scale to fit the screen, which is good. The reference resolution is currently set to 800 by 600. I'm going to set this to my screen resolution, which is 2560 by 1440. If you've got 1920 by 1080, you know, type that in, or whatever your resolution is, and then just change this value here to 0.5 so it's right in the center, and everything else should be fine for now. So I'll just click on this canvas scope, and then we'll come up here under game and click on the 2D button and just zoom in. And now we will come up here to our it's okay. I told you I was tired. We actually need to add our image first, obviously, because we're going to be using an image. So anyway, go to your canvas scope here, right click, and come down to your UI and add an image, and you'll see it adds it right in the middle of our canvas. And then come up here to the rect transform. I've actually been learning a lot more about the built-in UI for Unity 5 or UI, and I'll show you guys an easy way to do this. So all you do, if you click on this and then come down here to the stretch one here, and just anchor this, left click it, and you'll see these little tabs all on the edges here. So it's actually anchored to the whole of the panel. And then if you hold down Alt, you'll see all these symbols change, and if we click on this again while holding down Alt, it'll automatically stretch the image perfectly to fit the canvas, which is really handy. And then just click down here to get rid of that. I'm just going to make this image a different name and just say image scope, and you'll see that the image actually can take a source image, which it says none. It currently hasn't got an image, and it is of type sprite. And then we can also add a material, and we can also adjust the color of this if we want as well. This is the actual scope image that I got off the internet, and I think it's this one here, yeah. And it's just a PNG image. And if you try adding this, you'll see that you can't actually add that, and that is because this is actually a texture and this is asking for a sprite. So to fix that, you just click on this scope texture here, and texture type will come up in your inspector, and you just come down here to the sprite, 2D and UI, and then just apply that, and it will actually change this texture into the 2D sprite. So go back to your image scope and now drag this into there, and as you can see, it's put the image onto the screen like that. The only problem being the background on the outside is fine, but in the middle here it's just all white. So if we went to play the game now, it doesn't really look like a scope. We can't actually see through it, and that's a bit of a problem, and that's what I was talking about. Usually you'd have to go into Photoshop and make this transparent, and I'm rubbish at using Photoshop, so I just worked out how to do it myself using Unity, and it's just very simple. So what we're going to do is make a material for this now. So right click down here in our assets, go to create material, and we'll just call it scope material, and we will come up here to the shader, and we'll change this to our old mate particles multiply, which we have used quite a fair bit, and the soft particles factor, I'll bump that right up, and then I'll also add this sprite into there. And as you can see, this looks really messed up at the moment, but that doesn't matter, it's fine, don't worry about that. Click back on the image for the scope, and then drag our newly made material into the material slot, and as you can see now we can actually see through it like a proper scope. And if you wanted to make this look more like glass or something like that, you can actually adjust the color a little bit. Like glass is kind of a really slightly light blue color sometimes. Maybe if we just add it like that, that should be fine. And now if we go into our first person controller, come down to our camera zoom here, and we'll actually add our scope zoom script on there. And as you can see, we have the slots come up for the sniper scope, which is what we just made. So grab the image scope and put that in there, and then the actual camera, which is of course the camera zoom, the new camera that we made, drag that in there, and that's just our boolean, which I've made public, so it can let us know that we are able to aim. So now if we play the game, you'll see that there's nothing on the screen. That's good, so it's working so far. And if we pick up the sniper rifle, that's good. And if we hold down the right mouse button, you'll see that we actually look through the scope. That's all well and good, but we can also see part of the sniper rifle, and that looks pretty rubbish. And an easy way to fix this, this is why we made a whole new canvas. We can actually click on our main canvas, and you'll see the sort order here, and we can change this to 1, and then we'll change our canvas scope. Well, sorry, we won't change it, we'll leave that as 0. And also we will get the camera zoom, and we'll make a new layer so that the main camera can still see our sniper rifle, but when we're actually looking through the camera zoom camera, we're going to make it so that it can't actually see the sniper rifle. So it's really easy to use layers. Layers are up here and it's set to default currently. So come here, come down to add layer, and I'll just come down to layer 9 here, and we'll just do not see. Doesn't matter what you call it. And then click on that again, and come down here to culling mask, and at the moment the camera can actually see everything, and you'll see now that we have our new layer do not see, and it can actually see that layer. So click off that layer, and now you'll see that it only can see all these things here. And now all we need to do is click on our sniper rifle and make sure you put that to do not see and go yes, change children. So now if we go back into the game, we can pick up our sniper rifle, and if we look down the scope, we can still see our ammo counter and things like that, but we can't see the sniper rifle. And as you can see, that's the zoom level at the moment. It's not bad zoom level, that's okay. And if you want to adjust it, as I said, it's entirely up to you. Go back to your camera zoom, and say we put this down to 5. The lower you go, the more it's going to zoom in, okay? So if I pick up the sniper rifle again and look down, it's really zooming in. Like, really zooming in, okay. Alright, so there you go. That'll be the first part. In the next one, we will actually set up the sniper rifle so that we can actually kill enemies and do everything else we can with the other guns, and we'll probably just make a simple idle animation for the sniper rifle as well, so it doesn't just look like a inanimate object in our hands. Okay, so yeah, if you enjoyed the tutorial, please don't forget to leave a like, and if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, thanks for watching guys, cheers.